On September 11, 2001, the United States was victim of a mass terrorist attack that resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 American citizens. This event would forever change how the U.S. views people from Middle Eastern countries entering the United States. However, these views would be challenged when a war erupted between challenged in 2011 when a war erupted between ISIS and rebel groups which sent millions of Syrians fleeing their country and taking refuge in European countries as well as America. However, America remains divided on the acceptance of Syrian refugees in the country. In this speech, I will go over 3 issues that have come up, and those issues are what the Syrian refugees pose to public safety, how many Syrian refugees America is taking in, and how those refugees may affect the economy. Recently, Donald Trump Jr. posted a tweet saying, "If I had a bowl of Skittles and I told you 3 would kill you, would you take a handful? That's our Syrian refugee problem." However, of the 784,000 Syrian refugees accepted into the United States since 9/11, only 3 have been arrested due to terrorist activities, 2 of which were not planning a terrorist attack in the United States, and the remaining one having barely feasible evidence of an attack. The whole process that Syrian refugees have to go through in order to land on American soil is pretty lengthy. First, they have to send in their documents to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or the UNHCR, which will go through their documentation, do background checks, and once they are approved by them, they will be recommended for resettlement in the United States. And the United States will run through their documentation again and do multiple background checks as well as in-person interviews with the refugees in question. And just a recent addition to the security process is that the FBI director has to sign off on every single one of the Syrian refugees coming into the United States. This entire process can take anywhere from 18 to 24 months. Although that America has multiple security protocols put in place for refugees coming into the United States, people are still uneasy due to the fact of how many terrorist attacks have been taking place in other countries, such as Paris and Germany. For instance, on November 13, 2015, Paris was victim of a terrorist attack that left 130 people dead and hundreds of others injured. Consisted of 4 suicide bombers and multiple shootings throughout the city. Brussels, Germany, suffered a terrorist attack on March 22, 2016 that left 32 people dead. It consisted of 3 bombs placed in two placed in the Zeventin International Airport and 1 at the Malibik metro station. The next issue I will cover is how many Syrian refugees America is taking in. Following the Paris attack, Ted Cruz told CNN, "What Barack Obama and Hillary are proposing is that we bring to this country tens of thousands of Syrian Muslim refugees. I have to say, particularly in light of what happened in Paris, that's nothing short of lunacy." Although some people may think that there's tens of thousands of refugees coming into America, the fact remains that only recently Obama has let 10,000 refugees into the country, and that all took place between November 15th and November 2015 and August 2016. And before that, just over 1,000 refugees were admitted into the United States following the war that started in Syria. Although that we haven't been taking in as many refugees as people think, many others think that we're not doing enough. For instance, Martin O'Malley, the former governor of Maryland, said, "All Americans are a generous and compassionate people, but today our policies are falling short of our values. We must do more to support Syrian refugees, and we most certainly can welcome more than the proposed 5,000 to 8,000 refugees next year. Compared to other countries, America has been taking in less. For instance, Canada has accepted over 30,000 Syrian refugees since November 2015, and Germany has pledged to take in nearly 40,000 Syrian refugees. Many people think that this gives America a negative image, as a country with so many resources isn't using more of them to help people in need. My final issue is how they may affect the economy. Syrians actually can help the economy because they take jobs that Americans typically don't want, like house cleaning and sometimes construction. And they also take jobs away from illegal immigrants that are coming into America. So they're not like illegal immigrants don't pay taxes.
I'm gonna have to stop you there. Thank you. Good job.
Are the refugees planning on going back to their country?
Actually, I don't know. That would be interesting to know. I'll look that up.
How are the refugees getting here? Are they coming by boat or plane?
I don't know, but I would imagine they're coming by plane.
Why are they letting in refugees that really can't contribute to the economy compared to, like, I have family members in the Philippines that want to come over that are nurses, but they can't get in because they can't get a visa. Why are we letting in so many refugees that are going to be housemaids and stuff like that?
Well, after some time, the Syrian refugees can contribute to the economy because while they're on social services for a while, when they get in, they are required to pay taxes like any other American citizen. So, in the end, they do help contribute.
So would they be receiving a visa?
I didn't read anything about that, but I would imagine so.
What type of services will the U.S. government provide the immigrants when they're here?
Medical assistance, classes for learning English, and job training.
Is there an application process to becoming a refugee and getting accepted into a country, or like how does that go?
Well, as far as I can tell, if the Syrian refugee wants to get into America, then they have to go through the background checks and the interviews and the extensive process, as I mentioned. But if they wanted to get into a European country, then they probably have to go through something similar, but not as intense.
What's the difference between like Syrian refugee and like illegal immigrants?
Illegal immigrants, I'm not actually sure, sorry.
Final question, do you know if these refugees, are they like petitioning to become American citizens? Or are we just, I think it's kind of in connection to several questions that were asked, but is there anything connecting them to becoming American citizens as they are allowed into our country?
I know I read that there are several cases where refugees have been wanting to become American citizens, but I'm not sure if all of them would like to, or if they would eventually want to go back to their old country.
All right, good job.